Hello and welcome back to my channel. Happy 2020. My name is Brie Ogletree. I just finished eating some amazing pork tacos, and in this video I'm going to be talking about why I don't prescribe meal plans as a coach. There are coaches out there who do this, who do offer this service. They'll write out exactly what to eat on what days, what to eat for lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, all that stuff. But I do not do that as a coach, and there's several reasons why I don't do this. The biggest reason goes back to my own experience trying to figure out health, fitness, nutrition, all of that stuff when I was just getting started way back in the day when I was about 14 years old. My biggest teachers were magazines, so health and fitness magazines is where I got a lot of my information from. I thought they were credible sources, and that's where I would find these, these meal plans to lose weight, because weight loss was my biggest goal back in the day, because I was on the heavier side as a child. So I would look at these meal plans that were in these like health magazines, and they had these huge claims on the front cover, which is what drew me in at the grocery store. Things like lose 21 pounds in 7 days, stuff like that, like crazy headlines because of these diets that were prescribed or written out in the magazines. So of course, naturally, seeing the headlines, seeing the magazine, seeing it being like a health magazine, I was like, oh, like this is a credible source. I'm definitely, I'm gonna see results from this. This has got to be the answer to all of my problems. If I just follow this one diet, everything will be taken care of. I'll lose the weight I want to lose, all of that. So I would of course purchase the magazine and then proceed to purchase all the things that I needed for the diet if I didn't already have them, and just try to follow the diet to the T as much as I possibly could. So I did this several times as a teenager, adolescent, growing up. I would buy these magazines, I would try to follow the plan that was written in them to the T. But I found the same thing was happening every single time I would try to follow these diets. What would happen is after maybe like 2 or 3 days, I would either get sick of the food, I would be too hungry and just give up. I ended up never being successful with them because I found that most of the time they weren't foods I enjoyed. The meals weren't that good. If it was like a juice cleanse or something, I was starving. So the meal plan itself just was not right for me. It was not right for my body. It was not right for my goals. It was not right in terms of food preference. So I would always end up just, giving up on the diet, giving up on, the meal plan, because it wasn't catered to me and my preferences and my lifestyle. And of course, once I gave up, I felt like a failure. I felt like there's something wrong with me. Like, why can't I stick to this diet? All of that stuff. But in reality, it was really just not a diet that was meant for me. And that's probably the case for most people. So those diets that are written in those magazines, they may be well-intentioned, but they all pretty much have the same thing in common. They're wrote for the masses. They're cookie cutter programs, so they're not tailored to you as a specific person. The program or the the meal plan is for weight loss. The only thing that's causing the weight loss is the fact that you're in an extreme caloric deficit. It has nothing to do with the types of food that you're eating or anything like that. It's just that the diet plan or the meal plan puts you in a really extreme caloric deficit, so you're going to lose weight and you're going to lose weight rapidly. Now, in my case with these meal plans, and I'm sure in most of your cases, the thing with these like rapid fad diets, these, you know, lose weight quickly type of meal plans, they're not sustainable. So once you finish doing them, once you get off of the plan, there's no plan from there, right? So you lose the weight really fast, but then it's really hard to maintain that weight loss because you go back to eating the way that you were eating before. So that is a huge reason why I don't prescribe meal plans. I don't prescribe like fad diets or anything like that. Because I want to provide a more sustainable approach to eating healthier, more nutritious food over the long term versus trying to fight to lose a whole bunch of weight really quickly and then not being able to sustain those results because you go back to the way your normal eating habits after the short, you know, diet period is over. And another touch on sustainability, like I said, I was only on these diets for like 3 days before I gave up, which proves how unsustainable they actually were. A lot of them were like juice cleanses, like very, very low calorie diets that made me feel like crap. My energy was really low. I didn't have enough calories throughout the day. I was tired, I was lethargic, all of that stuff. So that's why I don't prescribe meal plans, especially meal plans like that for weight loss. Another reason why I don't prescribe meal plans is because of everybody's so different. Okay, so everybody has different food preferences, different lifestyles. So for me to tell you what food to eat at what time may not work for everybody. The way I eat may not work for the way you eat. The way I prepare food may not work for the way that you prepare food. So it's all about trying to find what works for you and what's sustainable for you. I'll take myself for example. So I don't enjoy cooking. I never really have. I know it's important for getting in nutritious food. So I have to find ways to either make it really simple or outsource it because I don't enjoy the process of cooking. I like to eat, but I don't enjoy the process of cooking. And as soon as I make enough money to get a personal chef, I'm going to be doing that. But until then, I'm going to have to prepare my food and I'm going to have to do some type of cooking. So for me, it's all about making it really simple, really easy, and quick. Okay, so I look for meals that are really simple, they're easy to follow, the recipes are easy to follow, the meals don't take that long to make. Usually a half hour is my cutoff point, maybe 40-45 minutes, and then I'm upset. But I look for meals that are really quick to make but are also super nutritious as well. Right before this video, I made a HelloFresh meal. I've been experimenting with HelloFresh, and I just made pork tacos with a fresh salsa and some pork, and it was really delicious. I got a good amount of fruits and vegetables in, some protein, some carbohydrates with the tortillas, but it was overall a pretty nutritious meal. So, and it took me maybe like 30 minutes to make, so that I wasn't too upset about. Yeah, so I look for quick and healthy meals in order to maintain or sustain eating a nutritious diet. I'm also not a picky eater either, so I can eat the same things, the same few things throughout the week and be totally fine doing that. A lot of people are a lot more picky, or they like a variety of foods within the week, and they want to prepare a couple different meals. For me, it doesn't matter as long as I have the food. Honestly, if it's prepared and it's in the fridge, I'll eat it. I really don't care. But if you like a variety of meals, then yeah, your approach to getting a nutritious food is going to look a lot different than what mine looks like. So as a coach, what I do in terms of nutrition guidance is I provide you with, a list of foods that you may want to try, or a list of things to keep in mind in terms of like quality proteins, quality carbohydrates, quality fruits and vegetables, things to look out for when you're going grocery shopping or you're preparing your meals, and just to give you some ideas on where to start. I also give you ideas on how to prepare your food, as well as, simple recipe ideas or like different cookbooks. Like I always recommend the Precision Nutrition Cookbook because the meals are they're simple to make, they're really nutritious, and they're in line with, eating a healthier, more sustainable, nutritious diet. So I, as a coach, just guide you through that whole process, and we figure out what works best for you in terms of getting in more nutritious food. I like to think of this as like a huge experimentation. I myself, even though I've been at this for years now, I still experiment with different ways to eat. So I've counted calories, I've weighed my food, I'm trying HelloFresh for a couple weeks to see how I like it. Just in terms of like getting in more nutritious food, how can I get in more fruits and vegetables, quality protein, all of that stuff in order to feel my best. And I just like to view it as a huge experiment. And if there's something that I don't like about what I'm doing, I just switch it up. So I'm not married to any different style or way of eating or tracking my food or measuring food or getting to my goals, whatever those may be at the time. I just view it as one big experiment, and if I don't like where it's going, I'll just switch up the methods. So I, as a coach, encourage you guys to do the same thing. So if you do try, like, I know there's tons of different diets out there, like Whole30 and the keto diet, and you know, there's all types of crap out there. But if you want to try one, by all means, I'm all for you doing that. Just know that you don't have to, once you commit to something, you don't have to commit to it for the rest of your life. So if you do it and you realize that it's not working for your lifestyle, or you don't like how you feel the way you're eating, switch it up. It's not a big deal. You can always go back to what you were doing before. You can try something different. So just think of it as an experiment the whole time, and always don't be afraid to try different things and different ways of eating and different ways of preparing food and different ways of getting more nutritious food in your diet. One thing I will say with your approach to nutrition is just make sure that it's in line with whatever your fitness goal is. So if you have a weight loss goal, or if you have a fat loss goal, or if you have a muscle gain goal, okay, just make sure for your weight loss or your fat loss goal, the biggest thing that matters is if you're in a caloric deficit. If you're taking in more calories than you need, you are not going to lose weight, or you're not going to lose body fat, okay? So that's like the biggest factor there. If you're trying to put on muscle, you need to be eating more calories. So you need to be in a surplus of calories. You need to be taking in more calories than your body needs so it can build that muscle tissue. Okay, so those are like the biggest factors in terms of what your physique is gonna look like. So whatever your approach to nutrition is, just make sure it's in line with whatever you are trying to achieve. One approach that I usually go back to is hand measurements, and using hand measurements to measure different types of foods, like your proteins, your carbohydrates, your vegetables, your I already said carbohydrates, your vegetables, and your healthy fats, okay? I just really like this approach because it's super simple. You don't really need any measuring tools or anything like that, and you can get an idea of how much food you're eating. So I use that in conjunction with how I actually feel when I'm eating. If I'm feeling like super full, if I feel satisfied after a meal, how hungry I am, just tuning into how my body actually feels while I'm eating the meal. So this is what I usually go back to, but again, I'm not married to that as well. So I do try different approaches. I do try different things all the time. I'm always experimenting, and you guys can too. If you are interested in learning more about like hand measurements, how to use hunger cues and all that stuff to create a caloric deficit for weight loss, I just created a free guide for you guys. I will link it in the comments below or the description below so you can pick it up there. It's all free. All you need to do is put in your name and email and you'll get it automatically. But that's all about how to use hand measurements and your hunger cues to create a caloric deficit without counting calories or tracking anything. The last thing I want to touch on as a coach in terms of prescribing meal plans is the fact that I think it does a disservice to you guys as the clients, because we're not really learning anything at that point if I just hand you, all the answers to all of your problems, which might not even be the right answers to your specific problems, if that makes sense. So my approach is all about finding habits, finding ways of eating that work best for you and your lifestyle, and that's going to look completely different for every person depending on who you are and what you do, in your daily life, what's important to you, all of that stuff. So it's all about finding the habits, the sustainable habits that are going to help you get the results and keep the results that you're looking for in the long term. Okay, so we need to find things that are going to work for you in the long run, not just, let's get to our goal as fast as we can and then not be able to sustain the lifestyle that's required to keep those results. I know no one wants to hear it, but this is a long game. So it's a long process. It's a slow process, but it's definitely worth it in the end because you won't be yo-yoing back and forth, you know, losing weight, gaining weight, or whatever, gaining weight, losing weight, whatever your goal is, and you'll be able to sustain your results for the long term, okay? So learn the habits now and it won't be an issue later on. So that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. And let me know in the comments what you think about meal plans. Do you like being prescribed meal plans? Would you prefer to just learn the habits and just, you know, be set for life? What do you think about meal plans? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in that meal, that portion control plan that I put together or guide that I put together, that's also linked in the description of this video, so definitely go check that out. Alright guys, I will see you guys in the next one. See ya. Bye.